everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. So do we, of course. And also our next speaker works with AI when it comes to sizing apples, sweet potatoes, right in your hand. His company is called HarvestEye, and he's the general manager. So please give him a warm welcome to Harry Tinson. Harry.
Thank you.
15 minutes?
Yep.
You have a timer?
Excellent.
Yeah.
So good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Harry Tinson. I'm the general manager for HarvestEye. And today I'm going to be speaking to you a bit about AI sizing. We've been running for the last 5 years as HarvestEye. And today we're really excited to launch AI sizing, both for apples, sweet potatoes, and now in your hand. So our mission is HarvestEye. We're a UK-based company, and we're all about data insight and the size of crop. Size of crop is so important. You can grow tons and tons of crop and apples and all of the fruits and vegetables you really want to, but unless you have the right size profile, then you're not necessarily meeting the contracts that you have. So it's really important that that's the case, and we help customers understand their size of crop. So our story, we started in 2019 with one of the biggest packers of potatoes in the UK called Branston Potatoes. And we developed our system and launched it across 43 of the biggest UK growers of potatoes, securing patents within the UK, the EU, and the USA. We diversified across from potatoes onto onions, so we now size onions too, and we launched that in 2022. And over the course of those number of years, we accelerated kind of our hardware and software development so that we fit systems to harvesters ultimately that take size. We augmented that, so now we've got our system that you can actually use within your hand. And I've got a few pictures of what that looks like a bit later on and how people are using that around the world. And last year was a very big year for us. We grew our systems. We've got over 200 now globally, working within growers, within packers. And really, we've kind of expanded very quickly to where we are today, where we're launching across into 2 new crops with sweet potatoes and apples. So over the course of the years, the last year in particular, we expanded quite a lot across North America, where we've got systems now across about a third of our systems are in North America and Canada, with a few in Mexico too. We expanded across into Europe as well, so we've got systems across in mainland Europe, about a third of them, and then we've got a third of our systems also available in Australia. And you'll see some big names there, so we've worked with the likes of McCain, Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, Simplot, many others. And they're using our systems to really understand the size profile of their crop at point of harvest. So what is HarvestEye? I've spoken a bit about the company, but ultimately it's a technology package that you fit to your harvester on a harvester itself or above a conveyor. And what it's doing is it's using AI to size the crop that go underneath. So imagine if you've got a load of potatoes that are coming through. Every single one of those potatoes is being scanned and sized, and we're using computer vision and instant segmentation to get the size profile, so the length, the width, and therefore the size. And then we use machine learning then to apply a weight. So ultimately you're getting your sizing and your weight information at point of harvest. Which is something quite unique, right? A lot of these crops are stored for maybe months and months in advance, and you don't actually know what you have until you grade out the crop. Whereas with HarvestEye, we're getting that information at point of harvest, so you know what you have, you can make better decisions with what you have. Here's an example of kind of how it's fit. So you can see on the left-hand side with the camera that goes above the belt, over the cleanest part of the belt there. And then you have the tablet, which is linked via a power cable into the tractor cabin, linked to Wi-Fi, 4G, and GPS. So as you're going up and down that field, you're actually collecting GPS coordinates, so you can start to see where within your field your variability is. Where in your field or your orchard, in fact, you're seeing your oversize, your undersize, and therefore, what do you do about that? Can you make improvements to your total yield? So this is what the system looks like when it's actually up and working, and you can see these are all actually working on potatoes here. And it's very simple to use. Once it's installed, you press start, you select the field and the variety that you're actually harvesting, whether that's apples, sweet potatoes, whatever those crops are. And ultimately what you're seeing there is the system working in real time, actually taking pictures of all of the crops. So you'll see pink potatoes there. That's the system actually registering and saying, yes, I've seen a potato, I'm going to take it for size, I'm going to apply a weight. And then where you're seeing bluey green kind of potatoes there, that's where the system says, yep, I've seen a potato, I'm pretty sure it is one, but I've only seen a partial amount of that potato, so you'll see them on the edge of the screen. We've got these systems working in quite tough environments, so you see in the bottom left there, you've got it working where there's a lot of foreign material coming through, so branches and top cover and things, rocks, all sorts of stuff. Ultimately, our system's been designed to know what the crops are and what they're not, so it ignores everything that it's not, and it doesn't start counting things that don't need to be counted. We're really happy to launch today onto apples. That was a big thing for us that we've been working on over the course of the last year. We've got around 4 or 5 systems now working in the southeast of England on apples themselves, so they're fitted onto apple harvesters, and as the crop's coming through, you can see it there counting and sizing the crop as it comes through. So we're using exactly the same technology with GPS, and we're able to see at a tree, at a row level where the trees are, what you're getting from your orchards. This is just an example of how it's installed. So it's, again, very simple to install onto the platform harvester there with a small box, and very easy to start, very easy to install and get going. And I'd like to share a video from one of our sweet potato growers who's using the system, and it shows you a bit more about why they're using it and how they're using it.
My name's Travis Kroll with Black Gold Farms in Delhi, Louisiana. So we grow 2,400 acres of sweet potatoes. It is a mix in between fresh market and process. We've been in operation as Black Gold since 2014. So far, working with HarvestEye, our experience has been very good. The support that we're getting back from them, we have meetings with them twice a week to give any feedback. One of the biggest harvest challenges that we face with sweet potatoes is knowing what the crop is going to look like. This is a crop that's grown underground, so it's not easy to go out into the field and see exactly what we have. It's hard to quantify what we're bringing into the buildings. We know we're in that #1 size range, but when we talk about our customers, whether it be to Walmart or H-E-B or HelloFresh, all of them want different size potatoes. Sometimes we don't have that insight immediately after harvest. This is giving us daily feedback on what our lots look like, what our sizes look like. Being able to have maps that generate a yield and a size breakdown for each lot, that helps us as we go through the season when we're packing. It's going to help us pull a right lot to match that lot with the customer based on what their size needs are. When we got the system in, I was able to give it to our equipment specialist. They were able to install the HarvestEye system on our harvesters within about a day for each machine. So it was an easy setup, making a small bracket for the load boom to put the actual camera on. HarvestEye supplies a home run cable that runs all the way back to the tractor and connects to the screen that was easy to mount in there with a suction cup device on the window and a small little GPS unit. Very easy to install. HarvestEye provides us a whole team to support us through this journey. We struggled at first with some detection. It was really easy to get with them, give them some samples of what we were seeing that wasn't getting picked up. They pushed through an update within a day and really made a huge difference with the amount of data that we were able to collect. When we look toward the future with the use of HarvestEye, I think it's going to really benefit us because we'll get to see exactly what's coming into our bins, what's getting put in storage before we ever run anything across the line. Right now, our process is we'll bring bins in, we run 10 or so bins from each lot across the line to get a size breakdown, and that just takes a lot of time. It's a lot of extra labor that we don't have always afforded to us, especially during the busy time right after harvest. Working with HarvestEye has been a great experience. It's going to be a game changer with how we look at what we're putting into our storage, how we pack that product out for each customer. It's going to be a great asset for us as we move towards the future on knowing the changes that we make in the field agronomically, how they're affecting size and yield in our fields.
So there's nothing quite like hearing it from a customer straight away, how it's benefiting them. And I think what Travis was talking about there was their marketable yield. And I've mentioned before, you can grow as many crops as you want, but if they're not satisfying the contract that you have, then you're not maximizing what your profit. So marketable yield is ultimately what you're really trying to find, the actual yield that satisfies the contract that's there, and that's exactly what HarvestEye provides you on a day-to-day basis. You can actually see what's coming out of the field and how you're doing against that. In-field variability, very important. So with the GPS maps that we have, you can start to see at a real granular level where your crop size is coming from. So you're oversized, you're undersized, and you can start to improve your agronomy practices to really understand how you can maximize the yield that's coming out there. And that's done both in terms of count and also in terms of weight. And we've got many systems now working across the world. We're starting to see some real interesting data on variety performance. So obviously growing different varieties, different breeding trials, things like this. We're starting to see customers really take note of different varieties, how they're performing for them. And that's something that HarvestEye can give you. As the data is encoded into field and variety, this enables you to have a real holistic view of the varieties that you have, which ones are performing better for you. The same goes for growers. One of our customers, a big customer here today with us, they've got around 43 systems that are working across their growers, 43 growers, and they can see at a real granular level how each of their growers are performing. So which growers are giving them their best marketable yield, which growers do they potentially need to support a little bit more. The deeper commercial benefit, so there is a great return on investment, a great benefit here, is that you're seeing your crop size profile really early on. So that's something that's quite unique to HarvestEye. You know, as I've mentioned before, you're not seeing your crop size until you grade out this crop. So fruit and vegetables are spending a lot of time in storage, you know, many months at a time, and you don't actually know what you have. Whereas with HarvestEye, you know at the point of harvest what you have, which means that you can adjust your promotional plans. You can potentially adjust your specification that's going into your contracts. If you know that you've got a short supply of a certain stock range, then you can potentially buy on the free buy market before your competitors do. So you can actually potentially gain from there. But if you've got an oversupply, you know you've got more crop than you need, you can go and sell it as well. So it gives you that visibility really early on to make better decisions. And finally, kind of in your hands. So this is something that we launched at FruitLogistica last year, and it's something that we've been growing over the course of the year that's just gone. The picture kind of shows you exactly what it does. It takes a picture of static crop on the floor, on the ground, and it gives you your size profile really easily. So over the course of all of HarvestEye, we're about 97% accurate in terms of our sizing and around 90% in terms of our weight, and that translates across into in your hands. So we've got customers that are going to test digs, yield digs is what we call them. They're going out to their field, they're digging up the crop, and they're taking a picture using the HarvestEye handheld. Historically, what they do is they take sizing rings, maybe sizing squares and calipers, and a weighing mechanism. They don't need to do that anymore. They can just take the handheld, get a size profile and a weight as they're doing that in the field, straight to them within about 30 seconds. So something that's really, really helping our customers reduce their labor cost and improve the number of samples that they're taking. So from a summary from me, you know, HarvestEye is a patented technology that fits to harvesters, it fits above conveyors, and we've got it all around the world. It's available for potatoes, onions, sweet potatoes, and apples, and we're really excited to launch into apples and sweet potatoes in particular. It uses machine learning and computer vision to provide you key metrics to help you make data-led decisions. We're over at stand D41, so please come over and see us actually with a demo of the handheld. We've got it here today, so you can see how it actually works and takes the sizing information straight away. And on our website here, HarvestEye.com, we've got lots of use cases of how our customers are using HarvestEye around the world. So that's everything from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry. All the best, and I wish you fruitful connections here at FruitLogistica. Thank you.